Hey everybody, it's TF and welcome back to the channel. Today we do another action figure review. This is going to be of the Marvel Legends series Walmart exclusive Spider-Man No Way Home upgraded suit. This is pretty much a repack here, so we've gotten this before. Just some new stuff in this exact version here. This is, again, quite literally the same thing we got with the Far From Home series, except we have the additional head, which I believe was from an Infinity War 2 pack, and then we have a web accessory now. Again, this is a Walmart exclusive. I was actually able to get this when it became in stock. Get this sent to me. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at it. I was going to keep in the box to maybe resell eventually, but it does look really good. I just kind of want to take a look at it. And the movie's coming out, so that's why I'm doing this review. So, top half of the packaging. You can see Legend series as well as the figure in the box on the contents. We have actually a yellow spider logo type stuff going on in the background, backdrop of the box there, which is pretty cool. Bottom half, Marvel Studios Spider-Man upgraded suit, and it says that in different languages, as well as Spider-Man right there. On this side here, which is going to be the same for the other side, is artwork of Spider-Man right there, as well as the spider logo towards the bottom. You do have on the top here a spider logo, as well as ages 4 and up, and warning choking hazards. On the back here is a full view of this image right there for Spider-Man. Top half here, you could pause and read the multilingual read-ups if you want to, as well as it says Marvel Legends series and Spider-Man. You get the artwork right there. Bottom half, you get the rest of the artwork. I have a bunch of other multilingual warnings. And then we get to the bottom here, and there's a barcode in case you need it. Let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging. So here's the figure out of the box, and kind of like what I've said before, there's not much different to expect this time around. We have some repacked items and basically a re-released figure, but if you're like me who hasn't had either items or figure before, this is a pretty nice piece. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that he comes with, and we'll take a close look at the figure. So correct me if I'm wrong, I'm fairly certain this head here is reused from the Far From Home head. Don't know if that head was reused prior to, the Far From Home release. I'm not entirely sure. But it does look pretty cool. I do wish that this figure had painted lines, though. It would have looked nice. You can see the lines just look kind of plain here. It's sculpted, which is nice. The sculpt is clean, but I just wish I had better paint, because there's none at all. It's just molded in red, but we do have some paint on the black and the white of the eyes, which I think comes through pretty nicely overall. And we do have the whipping hands here. He comes packaged with the gripping hands. I got some splotches I need to scratch off on this here. I want to say these may have been reused from previous Spider-Mans before the Far From Home version as well. Again, pretty much everything you see here is the Far From Home version. But the paint on here, besides these ugly splotches, looking pretty decent, I think. There's some nice lines on the fingers too. Now, throughout the years, we have gotten this web effect here. It's just one single strand, as you can see, for an effect. The difference this time around, though, this is a clear, translucent piece here, which is redundant to say, but it's a translucent piece. It's pretty much the exact same sculpt, though. I think it looks pretty good, though. I wish it was on a bendy wire. It's not. Oh well. This has this thing here where it kind of hooks around and whatnot, but you pull it enough and it will come undone. There's this section here for basically putting it around his arms. All I have to do for this exact figure is just push it through, and there you go. And I like to have him pretty much wrapped around where it goes a little under, and that way he can grip it in one knot, which is, I'm having trouble doing it right now, but there we go. So that's how that looks. Overall, I don't really know. I wish we had fists. That was about it. Again, these hands were the same with the previous release, and I was kind of bothered that they weren't actual fists, but I mean, hey, some of the new that we have here is pretty decent. So how much does this head sculpt look like Tom Holland? Well, first of all, it's not really changed much since that Infinity War 2-pack came out, and for 2018, I thought it was pretty good. This time around here, I still think it's pretty good. I wish they changed the hair a little. I wish it wasn't as swooshy as it was, but I would rather have this than the Homecoming 2-pack with Iron Man, because that face, from what I saw, was not the greatest. So I will eventually put the masked head on, for the rest of the review, but I just do want to take a look at this face sculpt. Overall, I think it looks good. Not just the face printing, but the sculpt itself looks really good. I don't think it's 100% perfect for Tom Holland. I think it's close enough when you look dead on. I don't know what's going on with the eyebrow. I think there's some paint missing, or I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Not too much of a worry. They do have some brown going on, I believe. It's a light brown with some dark brown, molded plastic. Overall, I don't think it looks all too bad. I think the skin tone comes through nice, and the lip color and whatnot. Overall, it's a decent sculpt. Popping off the head is pretty easy, and then I have to do it on camera because I'm just going to knock the camera over like I do sometimes. That's what it looks like when you put that head on. Looks good. I'll think if I can find any of my MCU figures, I'll try to put this on there too. Some of the other MCU Spider-Man I have. Spider-Man figures. So this is what the back looks like, just going right into it. I do like some of these protruding details. You can see there's a little bit more some like glossy black on the matte black there. Looking good. You have the white spider logo, which is protruding. I know some people may have some problems with some of these designs in the MCU. I can agree with some of them. You could have some white outlining the black, as you can see on the spider logo. Overall, though, I think, if you're going to do it based on the suit, you can't really blame Hasbro for that. And I think that they approached it and did it pretty well. I don't really see some paint splotches, I think it looked pretty good. But the similar thing I had with the head that I had a problem with, I have with, any other red part molded on here with webs. And that is, there is no paint. I wish there was. But the lines are actually sculpted, which I think is nice. It's molded in this red, and then you get this black painted on there. I wish the red, I don't know, it looks a little glossy in some areas, but in other times it doesn't look too bad, honestly. So, I don't know, I'm a little conflicted, but, not too much of a big deal for me. We do have these ribs and abs and whatnot that are sculpted on the sides. We also have some different details and whatnot. You have this red going on around the arm that is actually nicely painted. The only big thing is I wish they would have integrated pinless text somehow, because look, big, ugly, miscolored peg right there. Yikes. Oh well. That is a bit of a bummer. Also, this was actually really stiff, so when I articulated this butterfly joint, some of the black paint splotched off, so there's a big red mark there. So that's not amazing. I have a few QC issues. I know it's pretty much par for the course for domestically produced $20 figures like Marvel Legends, but I wish it could have been different. There's not much else when it comes to certain details, like on the back of the arms right here and whatnot. You have some more of these details on the front. I was talking about the glossy on the matte black on the front of the shoulders. Here's what the hands look like. They may look a little small to me, but I don't think they look horrible. Nice grip there. Again, some fists would be nice. Pretty basic. There's something weird going on with some you see that glossy black that shouldn't be there compared to the rest of it. Even right here on the leg too. This is basically matte black and whatnot. Spider butt. Not too bad with these pegs. I think this is molded in red because you could see some of the red coming through on the black there. But at least they have the pegs that are the right color. You have the webs going down into the legs, as you can see, and then you have some different details on the feet, as you can see. I've said, how many times have I said as you can see, it looks like a little bit of a black splotch going on to the red. Like around here towards the toes, and then getting closer towards the ankle. Some webs on there, as you can see. And then we do have some black paint. Not really any treading on the bottom. That's what the sides look like. I'll try to do a quick 360 if I can. I have said this like a broken record. I need to get a rotating stand for action figures. Looks pretty decent, honestly. For articulation, very basic with Marvel Legends. Up, down. You also get a side-to-side hinge. Trying to focus up with your... It's not a hinge. I don't know why I said that. But this is the hinge there. You do have a butterfly joint. You go to the ab crunch later. I was about to say ab crunch. Arms go all the way around, in and out. Actually, how far out they go, so not too bad. Upper arm swivel. We do get double jointed elbows, swivel up the wrist, and then the hinge of the wrist. This is for all sets of hands. Ab crunch, which you can see some of these details actually are continued. They don't need to continue details here because it's just kind of plain in the design already. Waist swivel. You do get legs that go forward like that. Not really back at all. In and out. Upper thigh swivel. You do get double jointed knees. Have a bend of the foot that goes that far down and that far up. And then an ankle rocker. So as with quick size comparisons on the left, that is the Retro Collection Spider-Man. This is all Marvel Legends. On the right, that is Morlun and Shriek that are from the Armadillo Spider-Man No Way Home series. That I just don't have enough time to review these figures, but I'm going to put them in some size comparisons right here for you, just to show you that I got them recently. Spider-Man here, the one I just reviewed, is going to be a teenager, so it's going to be shorter than some of the more adult figures that you see here. So overall, this figure I think is pretty decent. I don't own really anything that came before, like I've mentioned over and over again. I don't have the Far From Home figure or the head sculpt from the Infinity War 2-pack, so it's nice to get it all kind of like in a 2-for-1 offering here, even though sometimes Walmart exclusives like this one here can be hard to get. I do have some problems with it though. Some areas of the figure have some paint splotching, which I'm not a big fan of. I do wish that the actual, while I do like that there's sculpted lines for the webs, I do wish that there was paint in the lines. It would have made the details pop out even more. And kind of a nitpick, I wish he came with fists, not just gripped hands and whipping hands. I think that would have been nice. And I may be asking a little too much, but I wish the webs actually had a bendy wire in them so they could actually be really fun and playable and whatnot. But the overall figure itself, I think, is really nice. Again, that Tom Holland head sculpt is really good, even though I can't find Iron Spider from MCU right now. But it doesn't really fit on previous MCU Spider-Man figures. You can kind of fake it though. Again, the articulation is rather decent on him, and the overall sculpt in the body mold is pretty good. $23 basically. I actually had to pay $30 because of shipping as well for this guy when I had it sent to me. So take that as you will. Test your luck trying to find this in stores, which is still going to be a little bit over $20. But I'll also leave a link down in the description below for the Walmart link for this guy. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below to me what you think about the review. Leave a like, share with your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there. And I'll see you guys later.